Close your eyes. Now open them. You're standing in the middle of London. It's 1700, and it's nothing like you imagined. Where you see glass towers and red buses today, there was something entirely different. A city of 500,000 souls, raw, loud, and alive. This is London in 1700, home to roughly 500,000 people, the largest city in Western Europe, the engine of a growing empire. The Thames is London's lifeblood. Every day, hundreds of ships crowd the river. Coal from Newcastle, spices from the East Indies, sugar from the Caribbean. Dawn breaks at 5 in the morning. Before the sun is up, London is already awake. Church bells, street sellers, the rumble of cartwheels on stone. The street sellers arrive next, hundreds of them pushing carts or carrying baskets, each one crying their wares at full voice. This is how most Londoners shop. Water is a constant problem. London has no clean supply. People drink from wells, buy from water carriers, or take from the Thames itself. The results are often fatal. For the poor, and most Londoners are poor, home is a single room, sometimes shared with another family, in a building already 300 years old. London Bridge today is wide, clean, unremarkable, but step back 300 years and you find something extraordinary. A bridge covered entirely with houses. One building defines the skyline above everything else, St. Paul's Cathedral, Christopher Wren's masterpiece, completed just 3 years ago in 1697. It took 36 years to build. Wren built St. Paul's because the old one burned. 34 years ago, the Great Fire of London destroyed 13,000 homes, 87 churches, and most of the medieval city. The fire changed who lives where. The wealthy begin moving west, away from the smoky industrial city. The East End fills with the poor, a division that will last 3 centuries. Work defines where you live. Cutlers cluster in one lane, weavers in another, bakers in Bread Street, brewers near the river. The city sorts itself by trade. For the merchant class, the coffee house is the center of the world. In one room, merchants, lawyers, politicians, and pamphlet writers, news, deals, and argument in equal measure. But while merchants drink coffee, the poor drink gin. Cheap Dutch gin floods London after 1688. By 1720, there will be one gin shop for every 4 houses in some parishes. This will become a crisis. After dark, London belongs to a different world. There is no police force, a few parish watchmen, mostly old and unarmed. After 10 at night, the streets are genuinely dangerous. The smell of London in 1700 is hard to imagine today. Human waste goes into cesspits beneath houses, then into streams, then into the Thames itself. The river is both sewer and water supply. Disease is constant. Smallpox kills tens of thousands. Tuberculosis is endemic. Typhoid from contaminated water. In a bad year, more people die in London than are born here. London in 1700 is also a city of refugees. 50,000 Huguenots, French Protestants, have fled persecution and arrived in the last 30 years. They bring skills London desperately needs. Where you see Christ Church Spitalfields today on Commercial Street, the Huguenots worshipped in the same building from 1714. Their community shaped this neighborhood for generations. Children in 1700 do not have childhoods as we understand them. By age 6 or 7, the poor are working. Boys become apprentices, some become chimney sweeps, a short and brutal education in survival. The law in 1700 is brutal and public. At Tyburn, near modern-day Marble Arch, public executions draw crowds of thousands. More than 200 offenses carry the death penalty. London's prosperity in 1700 is built on a foundation many preferred not to examine: the transatlantic slave trade. Sugar, tobacco, and cotton arrive from plantations worked by enslaved Africans. Religion is not a choice in 1700. The Church of England governs birth, marriage, and death. Church attendance is legally required. The parish is the unit of government for the poor. Where you see modern media offices along Fleet Street today, in 1700 you find the very beginning of the press. London's first daily newspaper, the Daily Courant, is published this very year, 1702. A transformation is also happening in money. In 1694, the Bank of England is founded. For the first time, a national bank can issue notes, fund wars, and give the government credit. Modern finance is being invented here. The markets are the social center of the working city. Smithfield for livestock, Billingsgate for fish, Covent Garden for fruit and vegetables, each one an assault on every sense. What you eat depends entirely on your class. For the wealthy, the table is spectacular. French sauces, imported wines, exotic sugars shaped into sculptures. An aristocratic dinner in 1700 has 12 courses or more. For the poor, the same city offers bread, small beer, and whatever scraps can be bought or found. In a bad year, hunger is not a metaphor. Children die of malnutrition within sight of those grand dining tables. Winter in 1700 is also harsher than today. The Thames freezes regularly, and Londoners, with characteristic stubbornness, turn the frozen river into a frost fair. Booths, fires, and even printing presses on the ice. The Great Plague of 1665 killed 1 in 5 Londoners. It has not returned, but medicine in 1700 offers almost no protection against what remains. A physician's treatments are as likely to harm as heal. But London also knows how to enjoy itself. The theaters are packed every night. Drury Lane, Lincoln's Inn Fields. The audience shouts, eats, throws things, and argues. Going to the theater in 1700 is not a quiet experience. Every August, Bartholomew Fair takes over Smithfield for 10 days. It's part carnival, part chaos, part social nightmare for the authorities. Acrobats, puppet shows, exotic animals, fire eaters, and considerable vice. The physical city is always struggling. When it rains heavily, which is often, the streets become rivers. Low-lying areas flood, basements fill, cellars become sewers. London in winter is very unpleasant to navigate. Women in 1700 have almost no legal rights. They cannot own property in marriage, cannot vote, cannot enter most professions. Yet economic necessity means women work everywhere, in trades, markets, taverns, and workshops. In Edward Lloyd's coffee house on Lombard Street, shipowners and merchants have been meeting to insure their vessels. Out of this one room, Lloyd's of London is born. Modern insurance invented over coffee. Where tourists browse craft stalls in Covent Garden today, in 1700 there is a working fruit and vegetable market filling Inigo Jones' Great Piazza every morning from 4 o'clock. London's financial confidence crashes spectacularly in 1720. The South Sea Company bubble bursts. Thousands of investors, from servants to duchesses, lose everything. The first modern financial crisis. Even amid all this chaos and inequality, the rebuilt city has moments of extraordinary beauty. Wren designs 51 new city churches after the Great Fire, each with a different steeple. A forest of stone rising above the rooftops. London's diversity in 1700 is striking. Sephardic Jews in Bevis Marks have their synagogue from 1701. Dutch merchants in Southwark, Irish laborers in the East End. London has always been built by incomers. As the century progresses, the Thames grows worse. By 1750, the river is essentially an open sewer. By 1858, the smell from the river will force Parliament itself to hang lime-soaked curtains over its windows. The Great Stink. One man captures this city more truthfully than any journalist, the artist William Hogarth. His engravings show London's gin-soaked streets, its hypocritical wealthy, its dying poor. He publishes them cheaply so everyone